Magkano yung anniversary ninyo?
Oo.
Magkano?
Mr. Chair, the initial proposal ay 138 billion proposal.
Initial.
Para saan yun, Mr. Chair?
Anniversary nga, ma'am.
Anniversary po.
Anong anniversary?
Oo.
130 million pang anibersaryo?
Saan nyo kukunin ito?
Anong gagawin nyo? Una, saan kukunin at anong gagawin nyo sa 130 million pang anibersaryo nyo?
Hindi anniversary celebration, ma'am. Ang tanong ko lang kung saan nyo kukunin ito. Sa part ba ng working budget ninyo kukunin yung 138?
Mr. Chair, ito po ay again proposal pa lang
Proposal.
siya.
Kaya nga, kung matutuloy ito, saan kukunin?
Ay kukunin siya sa corporate operating budget sa
part pa rin ng working budget ninyo.
Yes po.
Baka naman let's give them the benefit of a doubt, Mr. Chair, anniversary budget, 30 years na sila, 137 million, 138 million. Siguro naman, hindi naman yung Christmas party or celebration. Siguro naman, hindi biyahe. Siguro naman, hindi pagkain ng mga officers. Siguro, ito ay pagpalaganap ng mga package. Di ba po? Ano ba yung 138 million?
Ma'am, Mr. Chair.
Ano ba?
Mr. Chair, sorry.
Pakisagot lang, no?
Yes.
Yung 138 million, saan gagamitin?
Mr. Chair, we'll just explain very quickly, just for the purposes of to expedite the discussion. What was approved by the board and what was decided in PhilHealth already is the budget for the 30th anniversary was brought down to a few 100,000 pesos only. So maybe we can just, to clarify everything, there's no hundreds of millions, there's no millions. So just so that we can continue with the discussion, please.
Yun ang tinanong ko kanina at sabi mo, you will explain it later.
Yes.
So nauna nyo pong sinagot yung mga tanong ni Senator Ligarda kaysa sa mga tanong ko na hindi pa rin nasasagot until now. Pakisagot muna.
So just to answer nga very quickly, Mr. Chair, we are only planning to spend a few 100,000 pesos for 30th anniversary. Yan lang po, wala pong mga excessive spending
so, ibig
po.
sabihin,
Just to simplify the discussion.
Projected pa lang ito.
Actually, may mga proposal. But
hindi pa natutuloy.
So good. Thank you for asking that.
Hindi pa natutuloy.
You're spending a few hundreds of thousands, but we see on the board, it is not consistent with what the CEO is saying. It's 137.7 million. What is this? An invention? A proposal of some brilliant person? Buti na lang, merong nagkontra at may board. Ano ba ito? Gala night. And Sports Fest, 32 million and 13 million. Habang ang dami-daming nangangailangan ng healthcare. Anyway, erase na ito. Who's a smart person who gave this?
Mr. Chair, this was endorsed by a group inside PhilHealth.
Sino yung grupo? You have to name the group because you have to enlighten that group. Kung hindi po dinis-approve ng board ito, at hindi kami nanunood sa inyo, walang oversight function ang Senado, ang Congress, you could have, because you're a GOCC, we don't watch you every day.
Mr. Chair, Madam.
Sino ang brilliant na nagbigay nito?
We have an anniversary committee.
Sino po ang head ng anniversary committee?
The anniversary committee po is headed by Mr. Ray Balenya po.
Can that person, please, not now, don't waste our time, give a memo to the chair of the Finance Committee of the Health Committee on why the person and the group thought of using 137 million of PhilHealth funds for giveaways and a gala night.
Yeah. We will submit, Your Honor. We will submit it within the day to Congress. No?
A sports meet
2 years to the Senate.
for 32 million and a gala night with PROs. I hope it's not GROs. At 13 million. And a gala night with HOs for another 4 million, blah, blah, blah. And, okay. And umbrellas for 7.9 million? What's this? Special tokens and umbrellas?
Senator Lauren, may lang po, no?
All of those.
Kaya nga, projected o plano niya lang po, kaya tanong ko lang naman po sa inyo kanina pa, kung sakaling natuloy po ito, ilang pasyente po ang makikinabang dito? Ilang pasyente po ang naghihingalo na matutulungan dito? Ilang buhay pa po ang masasalbar dito?
Yes po.
Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, dito sa ating panggobyerno, parati isipin natin, konsensya.
ko, ibabas na naman ako na ma-DDS pagkatapos nito. Gusto kong makinig kayong lahat. Alamin nyo nung una ang batas. Bago nyo kami murahin, bago nyo kami latiin, alamin nyo muna ang batas. We also recommend the filing of appropriate charges against officials responsible for these atrocities. We recommend that cases be filed under Section 6, Crimes Against Humanity, under the International Humanitarian Law, Republic Act 9851, against former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa. Nais ko sang sabihin sa inyo na ang distrito ko po ay drug-free. Pero walang napatay. Kahit isa. Pwede naman pala eh. Pwede naman pala na ang isang syudad, ang isang bayan, ang isang distrito, pwedeng mawala ang drugs na hindi mo kinakailangan pumatay. Gusto ko lang pong sabihin unang-una, Mr. Speaker, the time of reckoning has come. Nakalagay po sa Matthew chapter 7 and verse number 2. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. Kung iniisip po natin na magagawa mo ang gusto mong gawin, na hindi mo sinusunod ang saligang batas, dahil nasa kapangyarihan ka, nais kong sabihin, Mr. Speaker, na matatapos din ang mga bagay na yan at ikaw ay hatulan ng taong bayan. Ito pong House of Representatives ay ang bahay po ng taong bayan. Sapagkat tayong lahat ay inelect ng taong bayan upang tayo ay magbusisi ng lahat ng katiwalaang nangyayari sa ating pamahalaan. I consider this a divine blessing to be able to rise today as the chair of the House Committee on Human Rights and co-chair of the Quad Committee to share the initial findings and recommendations of our inquiry, particularly into the extrajudicial killings that occurred during the previous administration's war on drugs. Inuulit ko po, Mr. Speaker, kakampi ako ng dating administrasyon kapag pinag-uusapan po ang pag-alis ng droga sa ating bansa. Sinabi ko po ito sa ating dating Pangulo. Ang hindi ko lang maintindihan kung bakit kinakailangan merong mapatay na more than 30,000 people upang mawala ang drugs na ito. Nawala ba ang drugs? Hindi. Nandun pa rin, Mr. Speaker. Indeed, there is a season for everything and a time for every purpose under the heaven, as made clear by the Lord in chapter 3 of the book of Ecclesiastes. This is the most opportune time for the Joint Committee on Dangerous Drugs, Public Order and Safety, Public Accounts, and the Committee on Human Rights to present to you a progress report on our inquiry in aid of legislation. After 13 rigorous and thorough hearings of the so-called Quad Committee, we are confident that we have gathered substantial findings backed by competent evidence to make the requisite recommendations to this legislative body and to the appropriate government agencies for appropriate and decisive action. There was systematic violation of human rights and blatant disregard of due process. The deep probe into the extrajudicial killings, or AGKs, that occurred during the administration of former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte's war on drugs yielded a far deeper tragedy into the lives of the Filipino people rather than the protection and preservation thereof that it was heralded to accomplish. The numbers, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues, speak the scary truth. According to data from the Philippine National Police from July 1, 2016 to June 30 of 2022, 7,640 individuals were killed in official police operations. Of these documented deaths, 7,173 were drug pushers, 440 were drug users that should have been rehabilitated, not killed, and only 21 were drug lords. Mr. Speaker, from as far back as May 15, 2024, when my committee started digging into the EJ case, we had been presented with multiple reports indicating that there had been massive nationwide drug-related killings within the period July 2016 to June 2022. The killings were classified either as police operations or perpetrated by unknown perpetrators, which is no different from the Sinaloa type of killings in Latin America, which were notorious at the time, the drug cartel in Latin America. The 2017 year-end accomplishment report of the Duterte administration highlighted as key accomplishments, my dear Speaker, the deaths of 3,967 drug personalities and 16,355 homicide cases under investigation as of 30 September 2017. The PNP reported that there was a total of 7,640 illegal drug suspects who died in police operations, 2,053 of which were recorded in the first 6 months of the Duterte presidency from July to December 2016. No less than the United Nations Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights noted that there were at least 8,663 drug-related killings as of February of 2019, while academic research, the HUS project of the Third World Studies, University of the Philippines, gathered around 5,348 recorded deaths. The Free Legal Assistance Group cited unassailable data in a Supreme Court and Bank extended resolution that indicated that the Duterte administration's anti-drug war from July 1, 2016 to November 27, 2017 recorded a staggering total of 20,322 deaths, or a daily average of 39.46 deaths. Mr. Speaker, and my dear colleagues, was the war on drugs truly aimed at dismantling the drug syndicates and put an end to this illegal and immoral trade? Or was it an all-out assault on the poor and vulnerable to cover up the former? Gusto ba talaga nitong durugin ang mga drug lords at ang illegal drug industry, o durugin lamang ang mga mahihirap upang pagtakpan ang mga may kinalaman o kaugnayan sa problemang ito? Clearly, the war on drugs, while touted as the formidable solution to the country's drug menace had resulted in the systematic violations of our constitutional rights to life, human dignity, and due process. Ang sagradong buhay na tanging bigay ng poong may kapal ay hindi kailanman dapat pawiin ng sinuman. Ang sabi po ng Diyos, thou shalt not kill. But the war on drugs resonated a policy of kill, kill, kill. As the former president has always said, shoot them dead. The role of leadership in a culture of impunity. How did we get here? Paano ito nangyari? One cannot look at all the evidence and not come to this credible and undeniable conclusion that former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte's public pronouncements encouraged, facilitated, and normalized the killings and emboldened some of our policemen who are supposed to be the protectors of the people to carry out the same. His release of unverified narco lists further exacerbated the violence as individuals were targeted based on flawed, inconsistent, and malicious information. Isa sa mga biktima nito, si former Iloilo City Mayor Jed Patrick Mabilog. In 2014, then Mayor Mabilog was named as I quote, top 5 best and outstanding mayors in the world. In the 2014 World Mayor Awards, mula sa short list ng best mayors in the world, na isama sa drug list ni Pangulong Duterte, nasira ang pangalan ni Mayor Mabilog. He was forced to relocate himself and his family to a foreign land, and he was threatened with death, all because of unverified, unreliable list. We discovered, Mr. Speaker and my dear colleagues, that the previous administration's war on drugs was fueled by a perverse reward system that incentivized extrajudicial killings under what we now know as the Davao model. Ano ang Davao model? Under this system, police officers were given monetary rewards for killing drug suspects, transforming the duty of law enforcement from a system driven by justice into a system driven by bounties. Testimonies from Police Lieutenant Colonel Jovi Espinido, Police Colonel Ruyima Garma, and other officials confirm the existence of this system. Malinaw ang testimonya nila sa lapi ng sagradong buhay.